David LaChapelle, not to be confused with Dave Chappelle, which is also one of my favorite comedians, but David LaChapelle is a political activist slash fashion photographer. Get that. He, at the ripe age of 17, was lucky enough to land a job with one other than Andy Warhol. For the art fields and art folks, that's a big deal. 17-year-old working for Andy Warhol. As you can see in David's imagery, he likes to shock you. He likes to draw your eyes in, looking at interesting subjects. Like you can see things. You can see like the basics like rows, images, patterns. Then you get to something like this. And your eyes just kind of focus on one thing, and then the next, you're moving around the screen. His imagery loves color, and I think I like that about it. It just pops with stuff. So, in his political active days, you can see his imagery is definitely shocking. And then you have like stock footage like this, but then put into David's hands, turns into something like this, kind of warm, fuzzy. And then as it goes from there, goes into something that, boom, just grabs your eyes. And then you start going, what? What is that? And by that time, he's already got his message across to you. He's very provocative, I guess, in his imagery. So that drew me to him. The color use, the vibrance of the scene settings, all of that stuff seemed to be what drew me to him. This image, I love. It's America's Moms. I actually got to meet one of them, Miss Partridge up there, if you see her in the Cadillac. So then you go to this, the traditional photo, but the subject, the person in there. You got some here. You can see it's a fashion influence. You look at all of the things around, and then you get ones that are just tranquil. But then if you look closer, you'll see something crazy in it. And of course, here's one of my favorites. This is one of my favorites here. It just makes you think, like, what was he going at with there? Kind of same with this photo. So, as you can see, he has like a star-studded lineup. He seems to be the go-to person in the fashion world, or maybe even the commercial photography world, that everyone wants to have him do the shot. Every time I went to look to see if there was, somebody he hadn't taken a picture of, he had a picture of them. So, here, you're going to notice Andy Warhol's image. Like, this is his influence on Mr. David, which is really cool. And you can then go into photos like this. Most religious folks would probably trip, especially on this photo. But, by the way, that's a Michael Jackson impersonator. You get this. It's kind of tranquil, but it's got a lot of color. It makes you wonder. Then you get one that kind of shocks you. I mean, his work is just fantastic. Look at the color use. Look at the imagery that he puts in there. It's just beyond, and of course, as his rise to fame went, he was able to like rise up and get tons of people to follow him. Then he got burnt out. Once he burnt out, he started to change his imagery. He even took off for a while and just dropped out. And then he's, I guess the artist in him brought him back in and made him, but as the end is near, the Kardashians appear. And that's it. I hope you liked it.